To the idiot that stole my kayak paddle, you're a piece of garbage. Karma will get you. Mark my words. Okay, you remember, guys, when I told you that somebody stole the paddle out of the back of my truck? Well, I took care of that little bit of business. I made a little something. It's probably not 100% foolproof, but it'll make things a little bit more difficult. Check this out. What do you think of this? Now I'm going to paint that board up, and it's going to have a locking mechanism in place as well, because if somebody wanted to, they could flip the toggles on this and get it up, but I'm going to have a locking system in place. You won't be able to pull this kayak out now. It's a start. I'll show you the finished product once I get to it. I should have actually did the build on it, but it's just one of those things. I just set my mind to it and I tried it and see how it went. Then you can figure out if you want to make something like this, because people, they just can't leave things alone. I'm just going to show you how everything was the day I got home. Now I had a bunch of my rods in here, and as you can see, I had them all intertwined under the bungee there. But the paddle itself was just kind of sitting right there on the side. Tonneau cover was rolled down, so you could easily just come in here, do this, and off you go. That's how they got it. We're taking off on our trip. I gotta load this up. Let me show you how this goes together, and I think you're gonna like it. The finished product is really good. Check out that monstrosity. Gone for 2 weeks and we're taking like everything. We're gonna put the top on and lock her up. That is the sealed up unit from what I just showed you. Tonneau covers down, locks in place, everything is blacked out, and I got the clasps inside locked up as well. So if somebody wanted to pop this, they're not getting the board up. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you what I was talking about with the kayak and the board that I built. I was going to walk you through it. Everything was a success. I wanted to give it a try before I actually showed you the build on this, or how I put it together. I'm not going to show you how to build it, but I'll show you what I did. This way, if you want to make something like this, this kind of gives you an idea on what you can do to protect your stuff, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'll load the kayak, and then I'll go through the processes of what I've done to make this all work around my particular kayak, okay? So the whole point of this is to prevent those snatch and grabs, because if somebody really wanted to get in, they'll get in. They could break into my truck if they wanted to really get in. So at the end of the day, this is just to prevent those people that are looking to grab a fishing pole, grab some tackle, grab your kayak paddle, whatever. This put an end to it, and after 2 weeks of being on vacation, driving around, doing what I was doing, it held up great. No issues. So now I'm going to show you everything I did with this. I ended up making it just a little bit snug, so you're going to see me kind of messing around with it, trying to get it lined up, because I didn't want any movement with the kayak. I didn't want it to slide out. So it's cut to fit for this particular kayak in my truck. So let me show you. Okay, so we're going to take the board, and it is going to slide right down in beside my my clasps, or my pop-up clasps there for the tonneau cover. So now that I've got it in place, you can see it's pretty close. I gotta maybe shift it around just to get it to sit just ever so. There we go. And it was also form-fitting to the kayak, because I wanted to prevent anybody from sticking their hands in. This way it kind of prevents even some of the elements of getting in here. Even though some water and stuff would get in here, it still kind of protects the stuff that's in the back. I built it so it was offset just a little bit, because I had to put my cooler in here and some other stuff that I needed to fit, so it's just offset a little bit from center. So let me show you the back side of it. So I used some 4x4 posts, okay? I used these long 6-inch deck screws. They're more of a structural screw, so they're pretty big. And a couple of washers, and put it on the tow hook here. And this has been cut to fit. And I got clasps on the back here as well. And you can see I've got them both on each side. And the board slides right down in between here, if I can show you. Kind of between here and here. And it's in behind this. So then the key here is you just put that clasp on, okay? So you can use locks here if you wanted to. Totally unnecessary. So basically all I've done is just using the carabiniere sort of thing, like that. It's on line, and I can tighten this up. And you just run it over onto this side, and then clip it into place there. Okay? That prevents the clasps from being unlocked, holds them into place, all right? So now we'll roll the tonneau cover back, and this is where I have attached the other clasps for here. And as you can see, they folded up nicely. As long as you go nice and slow, these will fold up with the tonneau cover. That was the other thing I was trying to figure out, is how could I mount something on this rail, which I did here, all right, and over there. So when you fold these up, that just lays on there and it just folds in, which is perfect. I wanted to go a step further with this, and what I did was I put the clasps on there so I can lock it, because if you don't do that, you can still do this with the tonneau cover. Just reach under here, pop that, and then you got a free-for-all to the stuff in here. No bueno. Didn't like that. So when you got the tonneau cover rolled down, okay, and these in place here, you can't take this board out because it's fastened to these 4x4s, which are lagged to the securing hooks. All right, so we're just gonna put this back, snap that back down, and all you're doing is slide these locks into place, locking it. Same with this side. Slide that in, lock it, and then the perfect thing, like I said before, you can pop that. Same with the other side. See, now you can't lift that, and you can't lift this board if you wanted to, because that's secured on the inside. So even if somebody wanted to try and stick their hand in there, they're not going to be able to get that open. You're going to too much work to try and steal whatever's in the back here. Yeah, you could get in if you really wanted. You could unscrew these things, whatever. But you know how much time that's going to take for people to go through this? Or they could cut the lock. But you've created an element here that just makes it unfavorable for somebody to just snatch and grab something. And that's what this prevents. It actually works quite well, because now you can't get into the darn thing. So that's perfect. One other good thing, guys, when the kayak's not in here, these clasps can stay right in there. They're not impeding anything. My biggest thing was whether I could close the gate. There you go. No problem. All you got to do is have an idea and a few items, which I had some of this stuff on hand. The board was the first thing I made, and then once I got the board in, then I worked on the blocks on the inside and how I was going to fasten them, because then if I want to take them off, I can take them off. But you even need a special bit to get those screws out. And I know people ain't walking around with those. So again, probably a little more overkill than I needed to. The nice thing about this is I don't even have to tie the kayak down. The board holds it in place. That's the beauty of this as well. Like I said, this was all thrown together real quick because I had to go on vacation. I had a lot of stuff happen that prior week to going that had to get done. This was one of those projects, because you don't want to have to worry about things. And that was my biggest thing, was not worrying about this. Because you know what? There's a lot of good people out there, but there's also a lot of garbage people out there. And they have no problem with stealing your things. If you guys got any suggestions of what you would have done different, throw them down in the comments. I'd like to hear about it. Or if you've made something like this because, well, somebody's tried to take your stuff or stole your stuff or whatever. I wish we never had to go to extents like this, but you know how it is. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was just basically a show and tell kind of video. I wish I could have showed you how to build it, but I had to spitball it as I was going along here because I had to get it done quick and I wasn't sure if this was even going to work. Well, that's a wrap on the video, friends. Appreciate you all coming by. And until next time, you guys all take care and tight lines, my friends.